Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
To customize your company's expenses settings, click the Gear button. Then click the Accountant Settings link under the Your Company section of the drop-down menu to open an Accountant Settings window. The 6 different categories of company settings appear in the menu at the left side of the screen. They are Company, Billing and Subscription, Sales, Expenses, Payments, and Advanced. Click the Expenses Settings link in this menu to display the individual settings in that category at the right side of the window. The Expenses Settings category contains the Bills and Expenses, Purchase Orders, and Messages sections. There is a pencil icon at the right end of each section that you can click to edit the settings in each section. In the Bills and Expenses section, you can check the checkbox to Show Items Table on Expense and Purchase Forms to itemize products and services on purchase orders and expense forms. Checking the Track Expenses and Items by Customer checkbox adds a customer column to expense forms and purchase orders. This lets you track expenses by customer. Checking the Make Expenses and Items Billable checkbox adds a billable column to purchase orders and expense forms. If checked, you can then check the Markup with a Default Rate of checkbox and enter a markup percentage into the adjacent field to automatically mark up expenses if desired. Checking the Track Billable Expenses and Items as Income checkbox lets you track billable expenses and items within an income account. If checked, then select either the In a Single Account or In Multiple Accounts option. Selecting the In Multiple Accounts option adds a Use for Billable Expenses checkbox to the Account Edit screen in the chart of accounts. Checking the Charge Sales Tax checkbox enables the tax checkbox by default for billable items and expenses. The Default Bill Payment Terms drop-down shows Add New as the only option when it is initially clicked. Clicking the Add New choice opens a new term menu. In this menu, you can type a name for the new bill payment term, for example, Net 30. Then select either the Due in Fixed Number of Days option or the Due by Certain Day of the Month option. If the Due in Fixed Number of Days option is selected, enter the number of days into the Days field. If the Due by Certain Day of the Month option is selected, enter the day of the month by which the payment is due. Additionally, you can also enter the number of days into the Days of Due Date for the Due the Next Month if issued within option. You can then click the Save button to save the new terms. Click the Save button within the Bills and Expenses section when finished changing the settings to save them. The Purchase Orders section contains your default purchase order settings. Checking the Use Purchase Orders checkbox enables purchase orders and shows more settings. To add custom fields to purchase orders, type a name for a field into the first blank field available and then check the checkbox next to the field to enable it. Checking the Custom Transaction Numbers checkbox lets you use a custom numbering system for purchase orders. You can type a default message to display on purchase orders into the Default Message on Purchase Orders field. After making any changes you want to save, click the Save button. The Messages section lets you create a default email message sent with purchase orders. Checking the Use Greeting checkbox adds a greeting to the email. If checked, then select the greeting to use from the drop-downs that are available. To use a standard message, click the Use Standard Message button. To customize the subject or message, type the values you want into the Subject and Email Message fields. Check the Email Me a Copy At checkbox to send copies to your email. Click the Save button after changing your settings to save them. To close the Accountant Settings window, click the Done button in the lower right corner or click the X button in the upper right corner.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.